Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Yeah, I know, not fans' favorite, but then again, I don't recall anyone complaining about it since the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Me, personally, I have a special place in my heart for that film, and it's because, and I hate to admit it, it was the first Indiana Jones movie that I've seen. I must have been like 8 years old or something. It was my first summer camp, first summer holidays without my parents, and for some reason, a local movie theater got a hold of a Temple of Doom copy and they decided to take us to see the movie. I don't think anyone in Poland back then knew who Indiana Jones was, but from the first scene, we knew that this guy was special. I mean, oh boy, everybody fell in love. It was so thrilling, it was so fun, it was amazing. Until that one scene. You know which one, right? I mean, that one. It completely shocked us. I mean, you gotta understand, back in 88, the scariest thing we've seen in our lives was maybe the Wolf's Army from Mr. Blob. Um, so seeing a human heart being ripped out of a human's chest, still beating and bleeding, it was the scariest thing ever. I'm not sure if I recall it properly, but one kid got like a serious panic attack, had to be escorted out of the movie theater. The rest of us, yeah, I think we survived it, but it definitely changed us. Hello, my name is Grzegorz and welcome to Homemade Specials, where I'm trying to recreate some classic practical special effects using regular household materials. And today I'm gonna try and build a beating human heart using some party balloons, some rubber hoses, some medical equipment you can buy in a drugstore, a duct tape, and of course, some silicone. So this stuff, I believe, is used for IV drips. It says, I don't know, you can read it, but it's a very cheap rubber tubing that you can buy in a drugstore. Now this stuff, if you have kids, you probably know what it is. If you don't, you might be just as shocked as I was to learn that human babies are so helpless that they can't even blow their noses on their own. So as a responsible parent, you have to plug this stuff up your kid's nose and suck. Pretty scary. Now for the balloons, I would really like to have a plain red balloon, but this emoji balloons is all I could find. So yeah, we're gonna have to go with that. A terrible thing has happened. As I was working on my heart, the balloon just burst at some point. Look, there's like a huge hole over here. Don't worry though, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try a different approach. I think I know what I did wrong. But since I'm lazy, I'd like to reuse a few parts I've already built. So if the blue balloon that I'm currently working on turns red at some point, don't be surprised, okay? And if it turns green at some point, you know what happens, right? But let's hope it won't come to this. To give this balloon a rough shape of a heart, I'm gonna try and fill it with little balls made of paper, crumbled paper balls. I'm running out of breath already, but I think I found a proper way to do it, which is basically sticking the paper to the, I don't know, a bottleneck of a balloon neck, and then blowing it up so they fall inside. Hard work. Special effects is hard work. And if you are wondering what I did just here, I have some starch sprinkled over this newspaper, and yeah, it makes the whole thing much easier, trust me. I have a mouthful of starch as well. Not deep enough. Yeah. I think I'm almost getting there. How big a heart should be? I mean, I looked at the reference photos, and human heart is actually bigger than I expected. But honestly, I don't know how long I can keep doing it. So maybe this heart will be a bit smaller than it should be. Give me a break. And if this balloon bursts, I'm literally gonna cry. I'm telling you, I'm gonna cry like a baby. Few more. I believe this should be enough. It's quite easy to shape now. You can just push it and squeeze it, and it just stays that way. So I believe that's roughly the shape of a heart. And yeah, I know real human heart is bigger, but I think it should fit nicely in my hand, just for the dramatic purpose. So now, to make it beat, I'm gonna put this IV drip tubing inside, and that should be enough. Secure it with this piece of yarn or thread. I don't really know what's the proper word for it, but I'm gonna wrap it around as tightly as I can. Sometimes I wish I had 3 hands, or at least a tail. Yep, it works. So now I'm gonna take a duct tape and use it to, how to put it, I don't know, put some constraints on the heart, basically to make it keep its shape. What's the end of this thing? What the hell happened here? Here it is. To keep it retain its shape as it beats. By which I mean, I don't want it to just get bigger and smaller. I want it to change its shape a bit as it beats. And since this duct tape is really not flexible at all, that should help me achieve the desired effect. So I have one piece of a duct tape here, around half of it, but not exactly. And then looking at the reference pictures of real human hearts, I've noticed that it has this kind of tilted structure here. So yeah, that should work. Yeah, it seems to be holding fine. And now, as I plug this nozzle bulb to the other end of the tubing, I should be able to make this heart beat. Can you see it? I think I might as well use the duct tape to hide this tubing on the back side of the heart, so it won't be visible as I hold it in my hand. A single drop over here. I tried to memorize the names of all those huge veins that come out of the heart. I believe that one of them is called aorta, but that's basically all I remember. But never mind the names. I'm gonna try and use this rubber hose to make this aorta and other veins. And now, is it secured? Is it somewhat secured? I'm gonna try and fill all the gaps with the silicone glue. Sorry if my head gets in the frame. It's really difficult to do all this stuff and film yourself at the same time. So please keep that in mind. Yeah. Now I think I could trim those huge aortas or whatever. Maybe this long, I don't know. And I think I could also jog the edges a bit to make it look as if it was actually torn out, not simply cut, right? And while I'm at it, I think I could also add a bit more detail here. A vein going over there maybe. I'm not sure if it's anatomically correct, probably not. But I don't really expect tons of hate comments. I mean, what are the chances that a heart surgeon will ever watch this video, right? And if you are a heart surgeon watching this video, let me know in the comment, but please don't hate me. I'm gonna put like 2 drops of super glue. Just 2 drops, not to ruin the whole thing. And why does it always... Yeah, I think it holds. So now remove all the super glue from my fingers and secure it with this glue. I forgot to hit the record as I used my big tube of red silicone to form some veins and arteries going around the heart. But now I'm gonna put some more of that silicone inside that small syringe, and I'm gonna use that to create some smaller veins. Yeah, I think that's enough. I can let it dry now. So now I can mix my red silicone with some universal nitro paint thinner to create something that resembles a paint. A silicone that I can apply with a brush. Yeah, as you can see, it mixes pretty fine. Yeah, it seems just about right. I'm not too happy about the color of the silicone. It was supposed to be red and it looks kinda red in certain light. It looks totally brown right now, at least to me. But I'll worry about that later. Keep in mind that the whole thing will be literally dripping with fake blood, which will also make it much more red in the end. As you can see, I don't care about lumps and other things, because I actually want it to be, you know, lumpy and jagged and generally not smooth at all. It should look organic and damaged. I thought that before I paint the backside of this heart, I could cover it all with duct tape and secure with super glue, so that the backside becomes stiff and not flexible. So as I pump the air in, I believe that more of the deformation will appear in the front, since the back will not really be deforming. Simply put, no air pressure goes to waste. All the air will be pushing out the front of the heart where we can see it. I'm not really sure if it made any difference at all, so let's just paint it. On many of the reference photos that I looked at, the upper part of the heart seems to be covered in some kind of bright pale tissue, a thick layer of a bright tissue. I believe it's fat, but honestly I don't know. I just think it's cool and I want it, so I'm gonna have it. Especially that this pale beige silicone seems just the right hue, so it's an easy task. I'm gonna use my fingers to apply it and some toilet paper to remove the excess. I got some oil here in case I need to put some on my fingers just to make them less sticky. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, stop it now. I might try and use cotton sticks and maybe even some of my nitro universal thinner. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can clear the veins with that easily. Yes, and also in some of those pictures this fat seems to be divided into sections by basically straight lines, so yeah, I'm gonna add those two. Yes. The heart seems almost ready. Last final touch would be to fill all those gaps between the duct tape and the rubber, and maybe reinforce the bottom part here, because I don't really want it to deform that much. And that should be it. The heart is ready, but I think there's one important thing to mention. I don't know if you remember this nozzle bulb that I was using to pump air into it. Now, this is size 7. I have no idea what it means, but it was the biggest they had in my local drugstore. But then I went online and learned that there's even such thing as size 11. I mean, just look at that monster. So, as I plug it into my heart, it beats so much stronger. I mean, look at that. I'm actually quite excited, so let's make some fake blood. Hi, welcome to my kitchen. All we need to make some fake blood is some boiling water, some cold water, some starch. This is a potato starch, but you can use corn starch or any other kind of starch, and some food coloring, of course red. I did some tests and it seems really easy to wash. I hope it stays that way. The water is boiling. I don't want it to get too thick, so yeah, I guess that should be enough. Mix it so it doesn't clump. And then put it to the boiling water and keep mixing. I don't know. It doesn't seem red enough. I'm gonna squeeze all the remaining coloring. Nah, that has to be enough. Hello, my name is Gregor Kowalski III, and I am Master of the Dark Arts. Today I shall demonstrate the power of immortality. I shall rip my own heart out of my chest and, after a brief moment, put it back inside, unharmed, with no scar. Observe. Whoa, that turned out pretty well, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm quite proud of it. And look, it's still beating. One thing I'm not too happy about is the fake blood. I mean, it just turned out not red enough. I duct tape another piece of this rubber tubing to my chest to make like a sudden blood burst as I tear the heart out, and it's barely visible. I do not worry about it though. I believe there's gonna be plenty of opportunities to perfect my fake blood recipe in the future videos. One thing it definitely did was that it made the heart look shiny and gooey, which I think is the key to make the rather rubbery and fake looking props basically make them look more real, more disgusting. So, as usual, if you like this video, please hit that like button and that subscribe button, and of course, see you next time.